Yes, hey, part two in this driving series here from thesunabove.com, thesunabove.com. This is sort of continuing along on basics regarding driving and traffic fraud. I'm going to cover more videos in the future featuring myself driving so you can see some of the skill set that I have just as it pertains to well over 20 years worth of driving without even a fender bender, knock on wood. Just to promote not only the fact that I am responsible and, quote, drive very safely, but also to present to everyone the fraud involved in traffic court so that everyone is familiar with it. Again, this applies to New York state law. If you find what I have to say valuable, please take my videos, share them, embed them wherever you care to embed them, and just spread the news. If the news isn't spread far and wide enough and my efforts aren't reaching enough people, I'm just going to abandon the effort. Hopefully you can see through my 10 plus years of experience in this field that I have something worthwhile to offer. So what I want everyone to think about next is licensing. Have you ever thought about why do you go to this place called the Department of Motor Vehicles, a department of the state, to get this license to be able to drive on the road? Why do you do that? We can make some sense out of the idea that you should be tested to see if you have the skill set for it. But then why do you actually get a license? Do you understand what a license is? Do you understand how you're getting permission from the government to drive on the road? And why do you need permission? Why do you need permission from someone to be able to move about and travel? Well, the fact of the matter is, if you are a citizen of the United States, do you understand what it means to be a citizen to begin with? Why are you a citizen if you are a citizen? If you are a citizen per the 14th Amendment, do you understand that you don't have any rights? You don't have any rights at all. If you think you are, you do. You're vastly undereducated. You have privileges. And these are privileges that are granted to you through the government. So, of course, as a citizen, you must go to the government to obtain permission to be able to drive on the road because you are a slave. You're not free, you're a slave. And if you don't understand that, again, you're undereducated and you've been vastly misled. When the politicians tell you that they're free, what do they really mean by that? I'd ask you to challenge that and question it. If you're that free, just go buy a car. Don't get your license when you're 16. Just go buy a car. Don't go register it with the state. Just go buy a car and start driving it. And if you won't do that, why? What are you scared? What are you afraid of? What are you scared of? Okay? I mean, really think about that. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid the police are going to come and get you and take you to jail? Well, they very well may. Well, why wouldn't they? And why does that bother you? Do you think about this? Why do I go get my driver's license? Why do I go ask permission to be able to drive anywhere? Why do I then go buy a car and then take the car's title to this department of the state to have it registered? Well, I guess some of the theory might be that we have to have it registered in case it gets stolen so that it can be tracked. I mean, is that what people think in this day and age when we have all this computer and tracking technology and global positioning, et cetera, whereby it's so easy to track a vehicle with just a little gizmo attached to it to be able to track wherever it goes? Why would you then go buy a car and then basically forfeit your rights to it by signing it over to the state? I mean, think about it. If you're pulled over alongside the road and you're towed, what's happening? How is anyone able to tow your car? Well, the state has the right. Why? Because you've registered your car to the state. Have you ever thought about why you bothered registering your car to the state? Why not, as an alternative theory of mine, why not have us all register our cars to a private organization and perhaps have different competing private organizations that compete in price so that we have different prices to compare? And why do we need to renew this registration to the state every 2 years, depending on where you live? Pay that chunk of money again after you've already paid it once. Why do you need to pay it again? Now, don't misunderstand. I can present arguments along both sides of the equation here, but I want you to think about things. We'll follow this up with, as an example, the inspection of our cars. Why do we get our cars inspected? Do you think that's a good idea? I do. I mean, we want to all be driving safe vehicles with properly working brakes and all the systems intact. And the fact of the matter is, there are a hell of a lot of really irresponsible people out there. There's idiots in America. That's why, in part, perhaps from a spiritual perspective, we have found ourselves in the place we are. Because we've become so irresponsible that we do need to be regulated. We don't have the right to have rights. We're also irresponsible. We're only entitled to have privileges and do as we are allowed by permission of our big brother who will watch over us. I mean, have you ever really thought about it? Look at all the people out there and how they act. The many, many idiots. So these are just concepts I want you to think about, and this is going to be part 2 in the series. Again, if you find my information interesting, please share it. And this is only my second video. I haven't even begun to introduce what this channel is about, but more to come.